Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to talk about something that makes me mad. It makes me angry and even makes me a little bit sad. And that's not a short list. I'm a grouchy old man. And it's not just kids on my lawn that make me mad. I actually don't have that problem out here in the country. I got bears on my lawn, but no kids. But there's no shortage of things that angers me, but here's one of the things that angers me the most. It's when I see people being conned. And today I want to talk about all the con men in both politics and in the gun community, and how it angers me to see people continually go through the same cycle with these same fucking con men. It's like, the Democrats always tell the truth, the Republicans always lie, or the Republicans always tell the truth and Democrats always lie. If you believe either one of those things, you're a fool. My side's evil and their side's good, or their side's evil and my side's good. You know, whatever. I doubt anyone's ever going to claim their side's evil, because that's something in comic books, like when they call it the League of Villainous People. You know, real people don't call themselves the villains. That's just not what happens. But it's just ignorance, all of it. All of this is it's ignorance, manipulation. It's a giant fucking con. And so many people are willingly falling into it. It makes me angry when I see people take advantage of people's ignorance. And that's what politicians on both sides of the aisle have been doing for decades. It's been the whole plan of keep them ignorant, keep them angry, and then they'll believe whatever we feed them as long as it conforms to their own personal biases. That makes them easy to manipulate. And so many people are willfully being manipulated, simply because it is much easier to just latch on to something that was created to make you believe it because you want to believe it. It's so much easier than to actually go out and educate yourself and find out the truth. And the same people keep doing this time and time again. And it really makes me sad, especially to see people in the gun community, not just the political arena as a whole, but in the gun community, the Second Amendment community, where people are supposed to be free thinkers and believe in freedom and the Constitution and supposed to be strong. And yet they're some of the most ignorant and easily manipulated people. I'm not saying that's the majority, but some of them, some of the loudest ones, definitely fit that standard. They fit that definition because they're just easily manipulated by politicians, by gun channels, etc. It's like right now with what happened at the Capitol the other day. I've made my position clear on what happened. I don't blame the people as much as I blame the people in power. I don't blame the people that stood outside the building as much as I did the people who actually broke down doors. I'm able to see different shades and different levels here. I don't just label it all as good and bad. Just like I didn't do that with BLM or anyone else. But we're seeing the same people put out the same false information again, and you're seeing the same people in the gun community spread it, whether they believe it or not. Like one of the things, just a small example, the guy with the buffalo head. I've had people comment on my videos today, see, look, it was Antifa, because that Buffalo guy, he was at a BLM rally with Antifa. He's Antifa. No, he's not. He's a big mover and shaker inside the QAnon community. He's a very big pro-Trump supporter. And yes, there are pictures of him at a BLM march earlier last year, but he was with a QAnon group and a pro-Trump group. So the same people take that information that always lie to us. They take that little bit of information that he was pictured at a BLM rally. They give it to you with no context and hint that, he must be Antifa. And you run with it because it suits your narrative. You don't bother to educate yourself. And if I'm not talking to you right now, then you're not going to care what I'm saying. If I am talking to you right now, you're going to get very angry and you're going to want to leave the channel. But I don't care. That's the thing. In fact, right now, I want to do something really quick. I know when I introduce this video, I say, with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. But I really try to do this video as David Atkinson. I don't try to be, a character when I do this. But for 1 second, I'm going to change that. I'm going to put on, and this will fulfill the fantasy of someone in my live chats who wanted to see me in a different hat. I'm actually going to take off my David hat, and I'm going to put on my Yankee hat, and we're going to continue the video here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to talk to the people out there who want to be like, I don't like what you're saying. I'm unsubbing. You're evil. You're a communist. You're blah, blah, blah. My message to you is shut the fuck up and go the fuck away. Whenever my channel gets near 350,000 subs, I start to panic and I'm like, I got to do something to get rid of the rabble. I don't want to risk getting popular because popularity is part of the problem on YouTube. When people see you as popular and you get a following, people start to think of you as special. I ain't fucking special. And I don't want anyone to think I am. And I don't want them to think other people are fucking special. That's what a lot of these fucktards in Washington were doing the other day. They were there for fucking photo ops. This wasn't anything to do with the Constitution or freedom or America. It was about, hey, I can increase my Instagram followers. I can increase my YouTube followers. I can look like I'm a mover and a shaker and that I'm doing something special. That's what most of that was fucking about. It was about them bringing in the bucks and bringing in the clicks and getting themselves a position. It was all about fostering their rising star. So fuck those people and fuck everyone who wants to believe in them. Nobody on here's special. When you start thinking other people are special just because they're popular, you stop trying to do the work yourself and you start relying on them to educate you and to do the hard work. The only people that can educate you is you. The only person that can do the work you need to do is you. So stop trying to deify a bunch of fucking talking heads on the internet that lie out their fucking asses as long as it gets them $1 and do the fucking work yourself. And until then, get off my channel. I don't want you here. This channel ain't for you. The people who this channel is for are people who, no matter what they believe, they can take the extra effort to question their beliefs. They can educate themselves. And educating yourself isn't just looking for other information that verifies your opinion. It's looking at the facts, looking at the whole story and seeing if your opinion holds water. Those people are welcome here. Those are the people that do the work. Those are the people that can be counted on. And those are the people this channel is for. The people that know that I ain't no more special than them, who they don't really care anything about me other than someone else who shares their opinions and sometimes disagrees with them, but can do so in a way that hopefully educates both of us. So if you're someone that can't handle that, if you can't handle any opinions other than your own, you aren't willing to educate yourself, you're happy being a sheep, well, you go ba away and find someplace else. Go over to Mr. Guns and Gear. Go over to Guns and Gadgets. They love the fucking ignorant, angry sheep like you because they're going to fleece you for everything you got. And that's what they're here for. So if you don't like my channel, leave. Don't tell me you're leaving. I don't need long 8-paragraph comments to tell at the end where you can do the dramatic unsubbed. Because for one, it's not dramatic. It's sad that you needed that much attention for someone to pay that much attention to you because you stopped following a YouTube channel. Just fucking leave and don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you because I don't want you here. This is not about popularity. This is about clicks. This ain't about making money. I ain't here to fleece anybody. So I don't need the ignorance on my channel. I don't care if you're right or you're left, if you're conservative, liberal, staunch conservative, staunch liberal. As long as you're willing to be educated and debate on a plane of reality, you're welcome here. In fact, you're needed here because those are the people that need to do the work. But if you're not, go the fuck away. And don't tell me you're leaving because nobody cares. And with that being said, let me put back on my my David hat instead of my Yankee hat and go back on with what we've been talking about. And what we've been talking about is all the con men and all the sheep. Don't be a sheep and don't be a con man. I've seen so many people trying to backtrack over the last couple of days. I even got a patron invitation to a special patron chat by one of the larger channels about how I've never supported sedition and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you have. Every time you posted something to make people angry and you didn't provide full context, every time you posted something to drive up clicks through sensationalism, you've been manipulating people. You've been keeping them ignorant and angry, so you don't try to fucking bail out now. You've been doing it. Admit it. And if you feel that you were wrong which you obviously do, that you're trying to backtrack now, just say, hey, I haven't been real considerate of my actions lately. I haven't been doing the right thing, and I'm going to do better. That would be a lot better. But people in the gun community, stop being sheep. Stop listening. A lot of those people that marched into that Capitol building the other day, they're sheep. They believed lies. And do I blame the sheep when they wander out of the pasture? No, I don't. Not so much. A little bit, but not totally. I blame the sheep herder. I blame the shepherd. And in this case, these people are being shepherded by these people that they idolize online, which just because someone has an internet connection and a camera doesn't make them any more important than you. And the politicians, just because they ran for office, that doesn't make them any smarter than you or a better person than you either. So these people are being lied to by people they trust on both sides of the aisle, by their local politicians, by their state politicians, by their senators, by their congressmen, and by their president. I mean, who didn't know when Donald Trump became president that he was a fucking con man? That was what he made his living being before he became president. Reality show star and fucking business con man. And we knew that. We knew that. When he got elected, people say, oh, don't you feel bad that a con man got elected? I'm like, politicians are con men. At least now we have a professional one. So one of two things is either going to happen. He's either going to flourish beyond our wildest dreams and America is going to benefit from it, or he's going to fail miserably and we're going to have to reevaluate the whole system. Either way, I would have been happy because we need to reevaluate our system. And it looks like the latter has happened. But instead of a lot of people sit back and reevaluating their positions and evaluating the system, they're just swallowing every word that a known liar feeds them. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to defend Trump anymore. I defended him for years. I said, he's the president, give him some respect. He's doing some good things. He's doing some bad things. I can't just say because he does some things I disagree with that that's necessarily wrong or evil. Maybe I'm wrong. But I can say I disagree with him on a lot of stuff. But that's out the window now. This has been the most litigated, most investigated, and it's one of the most secure elections because a lot of it was done on paper. That's the thing I've been telling people for years. We need to get rid of the fucking voting machines. Every single vote that's cast on one of those electronic machines is a weakness, and we need to get rid of that completely. That's why I was thrilled this year that there were so many paper ballots. And when they litigated, when they checked things, and people are like, oh, but machines count the ballots. Yeah, but you can say if you run 15 ballots through a machine and it says it got 45 votes, like when people say they're triple counting, you'd know that was wrong because you only got 15 pieces of paper in your hand. There's checks and balances when you have paper ballots. And Trump knows, even if there was fraud, they failed to prove it. He knows he's not the leader of the free world anymore. It won't be in a couple of days, or 2 weeks now? So the people that are thinking, that are buying into that whole notion he sold them, that if you do something, we can change that, that's not true. You're being lied to. And he's not taking the risk, you're taking the risk. And it's all because you're so willingly a sheep for a shepherd that's full of sheep shit, as most politicians are. I'm not, and don't think because I'm attacking Trump, I'm in any way defending Biden or any Nancy Pelosi or anyone. I don't like any of them. Period. I don't trust any of them. Period. So that's to me the biggest thing from yesterday. It's all the con men, all the sheep. Stop being sheep and start calling out the con men. The people that try to fool you, that try to make you think something that isn't true simply because it benefits them. When you believe something, believe it because you think it's right. And you've verified it. Not because some special person told you to think that way. Because those special people are really just a bunch of assholes. All right, with that being said, I want to move on to gun talk. And today I want to talk about I'm actually getting a new gun. I'm going to be selling a few guns too, but I'm getting a new one. So I want to show you some video today to let you know what I'm getting. All right, here it is. These are not called STIs anymore. I keep wanting to call it an STI, but it is just a staccato. This is the XC. This is the one with the built-in comp that has the little island front sight on it there. That's actually part of the front sight. These are amazing guns if you've never shot one. They are so smooth, so clean, and they're double stacked, so they've got good capacity. Just an overall amazing gun. And as you can see there, it is cut for an RMR. So it's ready to go with an RMR. I'll just have to get one put on, and then I'll probably have to put on suppressor sight height sights, but it's cut and ready to go. So going to go on layaway today, but won't be picked up for a while. But really nice gun. Like I said, the Staccato XC. I saw these at SHOT Show, and like I said, one of the things I really liked was that island front sight there that does not reciprocate back with the slide. It stays where it is, so it makes it easier to keep your front sight on target. Just a very flat shooting gun also. So I wanted to show people what I'm finally putting on layaway, and had nothing on layaway for a long time. But not STI. It's Staccato XC double stack 2011. All right, there you go, my new gun, the Staccato XC. And no, I won't be seeing it for a while, but I do have an advantage this time putting something on layaway. I had some gift certificates, I've got some Christmas money, and I've got a couple of guns up for sale to cover the rest of it. So hopefully it won't be 6 months before I get this one out of layaway. Hopefully we can look at like 30 days. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But that's my new gun. That's what I got coming, and I can't wait to show it to everybody and take it to the range and see how it does. And once I do, I'll let you know how good a gun it actually is. All right, today I want to end the show as usual with our viewer EDC. And today's carrier is Steve B. And he is going old school. He is carrying a Colt Defender 1911 in an outside the waistband Skull Crush holster. Now, I've never tried a Skull Crush holster, but I have been very interested in them. I've seen them multiple times, always thought they're very interesting looking, but never tried one. So hopefully he'll let me know how he likes that holster. Maybe I'll try one day. But as I said, he's carrying his 1911 in his Skull Crush holster. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to say this or not because I didn't want to, say anything extremely horrible about anyone who views my channel. But he's carrying the 9mm version of the Colt. Which is pretty much sacrilege to John Browning. Blasphemy. But I'll give you a little bit of a pass here because at least it is a 1911, so you got something right. And I really love those grips. I think this is a really nice setup, interesting holster, nice gun. Now I will have to point out once again, if you look at the little wrinkles on the back of the pants here, Steve is also suffering from the no ass syndrome. What is it with people who watch my channel that have no ass? You could tell from the puckering of the back of his pants, no ass. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's because he's skinny. And that's even more of a shame to be skinny and still have no ass. But, I kind of recognize the look here. You see that little open space in the front of his pants right there, right while he's taking this picture? That's because he's sucking his gut in so hard, he's probably seeing spots and trying to take the picture before he passes out. And the reason I know that is because it looks very much like the pictures I take of myself when I'm carrying. And half the times I end up stumbling into the tree line as I'm trying to take the picture from lack of oxygen. So I know someone's sucking it in when I see it, but still, awesome gun in an awesome rig. So Steve B is our viewer EDC of the day. All right, that's it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it, although I'm sure a lot of you are not going to enjoy it. But those of you who know a lot of those comments weren't for you, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy watching the reaction of the people who freak out because it was directed at them. Until then, I want to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded, which I probably just chased some of them away today, but that's what we are. So if you want to support the channel and the projects that we put forward, the TYM Triple P, the Friends Project, the Pets and Vets projects, please go over to patreon.com/The Yankee Marshal, sign up and become a member of the posse. You can also go over to tympistolproject.com and check out the projects that we do run. See if you like what we're doing before you decide if you want to be a supporter. And with that being said, I will sign off, as I usually do, by saying, as far as the state of the world today is concerned, it's a little rough, and it is what it is. But in the future, if we stick together, we weed out the sheep, we weed out the con men, we ignore the fearmongers, we ignore the profiteers, and we do what we know is right for our country and our rights, in a way that'll actually make a difference, what things will be in the future for all of us is better.